As it was 20 years ago under a cloudless sky, as it is every year, America remembering.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light?
The current president and two of his predecessors and their first ladies at Ground Zero, where the Twin Towers once stood. At the moment the first plane struck, silence. And the reflections of those whose family members died that day.
As we carry these 20 years forward, I find sustenance in a continuing appreciation for all of those who rose to be more than ordinary people, and a father's pride in his daughter's selfless acts in the last moments of her life.
And then the names, read by those who'd loved and lost, each one its own very personal story.
Gordon M. Ameth, Jr.
Edelmiro Abad.
Marie Rose Abad.
Dad, we miss you every day. Our greatest gifts are your beautiful grandchildren. They embody your kind spirit, warm heart, loving nature, and zest for life.
Continue to watch over us and your family. 20 years feels like an eternity, but yet it still feels like yesterday. Until we meet again, my love, rest in peace.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
They remembered too at the Pentagon, that landmark to America's military might, itself targeted that day.
Mary Jane Booth.
And a reminder that 9/11 was a declaration of war that America's forces have been fighting ever since.
It is our responsibility to remember, and it is our duty to defend democracy. We cannot know what the next 20 years will bring. We cannot know what new dangers they will carry. We cannot foresee what Churchill once called the originality of malice. But we do know that America will always lead.
And the bells rang at Shanksville in Pennsylvania too, where the fourth plane was brought down by the heroism of its passengers.
Wanda Anita Green.
My dad, Donald Freeman Green.
The man whose presidency was defined by that day, reflecting on the country's response.
There was shock at the audacity of evil and gratitude for the heroism and decency that opposed it. In the sacrifice of the first responders, in the mutual aid of strangers, in the solidarity of grief and grace, the actions of an enemy revealed the spirit of a people, and we were proud of our wounded nation.
The man who took on that legacy added his tribute. His decisions mean this is the first 9/11 anniversary with no American troops in Afghanistan.
John Philip Napolitano.
Whatever the debate about that, today was about remembrance.
Ivan Lucia Bonama.
Only this week, the remains of two more victims of the 9/11 attacks were finally, formally identified. More than 1,000 remain unidentified. 20 years on, so many are still living with the pain of what happened here. Greg Milam, Sky News, New York.